Louis Theroux, Duke and Jones, jiggle jiggle. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. But luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. Shepherd's Bush, compact push, Notting Hill Gate, my Fiat skate with a crate of Cabernet, but not today, because I gotta drive, I wanna stay alive, not cause it's illicit, or I have to get explicit, as a matter of fact, I sip on the yacht with Pig and Reese, 200 diamonds in their piece, I'm trying to get mine, so I can shine, jiggle jiggle, I like to see you, wiggle wiggle, jiggle jiggle, I like to see you, wiggle wiggle. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. But luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. I think that went really well, don't you? I enjoyed it. Nice being in the booth. So, unless you have anything else, that's a wrap. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. Luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in the mind. Sipping some red wine, sipping back is mine, sipping back is mine, baby, sipping back is mine, sipping red ripple, compact, beats fucking back, knack, two, compact, beats, beats, back, beats, black, knack, back, beats, compact, and two, beats, compact, and beats, compact, and beats, compact, and black, and luckily the seats go.
Hello folks, Nuck here. A lot of you have been asking me about my morning routine, so here it is. It's my new teeth. Snort-worthy smile if you ask me. So I like to start my morning by waking up at 2 in the afternoon, get a quick lift, lick, and lurk in before I go off and spend the next several hours in the woods. And this time is mainly for my freeform lurks. I just lurk like no one's watching. Then I head into town to do some casual creeping. I mean, I'm freaking everyone out because I'm getting in my squirms. But you gotta squirm to stay firm. I forget what I'm doing for the next 3 days and get an office job that I absolutely hate. Spend most of my time hiding in the storage closet, but all my coworkers know I'm in there. The next 26 hours I'm purposefully unconscious. Come to so I can try on some tuxes because I'm getting married. Love to Ragnora. I'll practice my funeral for 30 minutes, at which point I gotta pretend to listen to someone tell me about a dream they had, but I'm really just thinking about what I'm gonna say. Then, and this is important, I'll just wait, eerily, for hours. What am I waiting for? A big heap of nothing. I wait to wait. I'll spend 2 minutes trying to create fire with my mind, giving me just enough time for a last lurk before the day begins. That's the Bobo way.
Oh, good, I was muted. Excellent. How are you guys doing today? Listen, I'm going to be upfront with you guys right now. Got a sore throat. Been working my ass off. Have 3 assignments I'm working on for 2 different clients. Got some court stuff. I got to run up there today for her. And just have a lot to do. Got to take Mookie's to get his nails clipped. Okay. Got to find time to eat, shit, bathe, sleep, all these things. But I cannot stop thinking about you guys and the Epstein files and how we're not even a 1/1,000,000th of the way through them. And every moment I am not in a dark casino neglecting all of you, I am trying to just trudge through them. And there are so many, and they're out of order, and everybody's put them in so many wonderful archives and in order and different ways to see them. But my brain doesn't work like that. I work in rabbit holes. So that's what I've been doing. I've been wandering into the abyss, and I've seen some shit. And I think today you need to know a few things. First, the Dow is fucking up, you guys. So whatever our piss poor problems are, toss them out. The Dow's up. I actually don't know if that's true, but I do say it to myself in mantras throughout the day to keep myself from having road rage and walk rage and car rage and outside of car rage and house rage and just all the rages. Okay. Gambling at pig slots. Exactly. Just fucking around with pig all day. The Dow is down. Fuck. Can't spell down without Dow. But in between all of this and sifting through that, I have found some nuggets. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like calling them Easter eggs because they're not all pleasant. In fact, none of them really are. It's really just a horrible crime to humanity that this man existed, or that there is an orbit around him, or an island for him to rest upon and do perverted things. That's a bummer. And that sundial is fucking weird. Well, so I'll call them nuggets of insanity. Okay. And I started making a dirty list. What is a dirty list? People who need to be shamed, the dirties. Okay. Because let's be real, Janis Joplin, she didn't do shit. Okay. He had her album, or he quoted her in something. She wasn't on the island enough with the clickbait. Elvis. Okay. So he talked about doing an Elvis, putting out an Elvis project with someone. Elvis is dead. It's literally like when Courtney tried to put out Kurt shit. It's just people trying to put out shit. Kurt Cobain. Oh my God, Kurt Cobain's in there. Yes, he's referenced. Like, let's all be calm, okay? There is much wilder shit in there to be had, to be seen, to be consumed, and to be thought about. And what I did was I scrambled through it. A lot of it started to make sense with past and current events. And I said, let's see if there's anything to back these up. And if there are, then they went on the shame list. And also, if there's just evidence of them being a shameful, pitiful, nasty shit wildebeest of a human, they got on my dirty list, the dirty. Remember the dirty.com? I did that for you. I made another one. But it's just for the Epstein files. And as I find a dirty bird, I put them on there. Hello, JG Cruz. How is Colt Baby? Keep Colt Baby away from any and all islands. Do you understand? So I made you a list, and I'm going to be doing these random power hours to purge them and to just show you some weird shit. Because it's like, wow, I can't believe this is a thing, or this person did this or said this. This person tried to fuck him. Like, what? The gossip. All these gossips. All these little hens in the hen house. When I tell you Washington is full of perverts and gossips, my God. The shit they talk. I don't know who Connie is, but Ghislaine hates her. She fucking hates Connie. And she tells you about it. You get to hear all about Connie. Okay. Peggy will tell you everything everyone's doing. She talked shit about Jeremy Irons' nose. She drags Jake Gyllenhaal's name around like he's her second child, like he's her Colt Baby. The amount of Peggy Siegel's unhinged, the amount of gossip and shit talk. When Jeffrey is mad at someone, the manipulative, pitiful bullshit comes out. He thinks he's Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You. He's not. He tries to quote poetry when he's mad. It's fucking absurd. I also found his real best friend. Like, everyone thinks like this is bestie. This is bestie. I will say Trump, Bill, all of that. Like, I've dived into the obvious relationships. Turns out none of them are his bestie. He does have a man named Steven who he abuses verbally quite frequently, and it's kind of funny. they're both like, he's so mean to Stephen. He's his Toby from The Office. So I've grouped them all in personalities. Park Dietz, by the way, from the Kenneth Bianchi trial, who fucked up that behavioral analysis, but somehow gets put on every case. He was involved in profiling Ghislaine. Why? Because apparently he wrote the book on profiling groomers and pedophiles. So we get to see Park Dietz again. He's homies with that other behavioral analysis guy that you know, Sherlock. He's real good homies with him. The crazy shit that's it. Like, Connie is hated. Okay, Connie is hated. No one likes Connie. I don't know also what the fuck Steven did to draw the ire of Jeffrey in his personal relationship, that Jeffrey gives these guys advice for how to handle their relationships, and then he wants follow-ups, and then when it turns out things don't go as well, Jeffrey then berates them for not taking his advice properly. And he's just yelling at these men like, you need to fuck your wife. And it's like, whoa, calm down, Jeffrey. We're doing good. Keep the Colt baby away from the internet, please. Oh my God. And if you think Lori Vallow's chicken enchiladas were crazy, don't even get me started on the recipes. Like the shit that the deals with the chefs, the amount of luncheons these people have are absurd. You would think that they only lunch all day, like lunch, and lunch. That's what they have. The connections between all of them and how they end up meeting is very absurd. And the amount of them who end up drunk in the street, taking home strangers, cheating and then confessing about it to Jeffrey for some reason. Part of me thinks a lot of the blackmail he has is just embarrassing emails and secrets. So I pulled them all for you. But we're going to go through them link by link, and I'm going to show you some really crazy, absurd stuff. And it's power hour, so I'm going to try to do it super fast because I genuinely have to leave exactly in 1 hour. So, and what do we have? We have 38 minutes. So let's hurry. First thing before we start, James Tallarico. He is a fantastic person who is running here in Texas to be one of our, it's between him, he's a Democrat, and they want to unseat John Cornyn, who is a piece of shit. And the problem is the Democrats are running him and our girl Jasmine, and we actually love them both here in Texas. And Tallarico is a very sweet dude, and he seems to be like a really great politician. Like, I'm stoked for him, but also it's Jasmine. But either way, whoever wins, like, it's like having two Betos and they can both kick flip. It's just fun for us. So everybody who's not a fucking crazy like pedophile weirdo, because by the way, Abbott, Paxton, all of these motherfuckers are pieces of shit. They all cheat on their wives with kids, adults that are of various races and genders, and then they talk shit about gay people like crazy. They take away DEI. They're just really horrible here to the very, like, they get abortions and then yell at us for abortions or for just miscarrying. Like, we can go to jail for that here. It's fucking absurd. And if you think I'm crazy, it's all over the news. So that's what we're dealing with. And we would be happy to have Jasmine Crockett or Tallarico. But here's what's crazy. Tallarico is apparently taking off so big here. He's like the new Beto, but also like kind of more Bernie, because he's just like, this dude has whistle clear record. Like, he ain't got shit on him. And Beto had a DWI, so everybody dragged his ass for that. And he wore a dress in a band in high school, which I thought was fucking dope. And he could do kickflips, and that really worried the right. So with Tallarico, he is not a sassy, independent, badass woman who's going to call them on their shit. So even some of the Republicans are very interested in having him instead of Jasmine, which I love Jasmine. So I'm like, what the fuck? But either way, no matter which one of them wins the Democratic primary, we are stoked for both of them. And I say we for the not crazy Texans. But what is crazy is that right now we've already had a couple of seats in Texas that were literally redistricted by the higher up Republicans, specifically people like Ted Cruz, our governor Greg Abbott. Like, all of these plans were put in place. The woman in Bexar County who redistricted all of San Antonio, the leader of the Republican Party there, her husband is a registered sex offender and a pedophile. So all these motherfuckers made it so that they're a shitload of people couldn't vote. B, they took away all of our mailboxes, all the blue ones outside. They cut those, and I think there's only 40% of them left. Now they took ours out in our neighborhood to distract people or to dissuade people from mailing in your ballot. It's like, just do it from home. Like, the fucking postman comes here. It doesn't make any sense. But they're constantly doing all this shit to try to keep people from voting. They move the polling stations around. It's really crazy, and it's very noticeable too. So what's even crazier is this year we had a couple weeks ago, we had some elections where a bunch of really important seats, they're calling it purple. No, they went blue. Like, they switched, and they are no longer in the control of the Republicans, who spent a lot of time here redistricting so that wouldn't fucking happen. They ended up fucking themselves because they didn't realize Houston has it locked down and everyone's tired of their shit. So with that said, they're very terrified, and Trump was super pissed about it. And he's been very vocal about this and about how, the Texans, we cannot let the Dems win. But here's the thing, almost every single seat that could be occupied by a Republican, the people who are running, we've got a guy who shot his daughter and I think beat his kids to near death. We have another guy running who also was in trouble for child sex shit. We have another guy who's like a pastor who stole money. Like, those are the people they have running. So it's not going well for them. So long story short, Trump has been utilizing his powers directly. Let it be known, he said this on record. He contacted the FCC and he told them, apparently he made the same threats he made to CBS that he did before, that got Kimmel fired. But it was all because Tallarico was going to be on Stephen Colbert's show. So Stephen Colbert gets a call the day of. I'll let him explain it. But basically, the government in the highest office in government, or the president, uses executive powers yet again to tell the FCC to threaten a news network because they were running content he didn't like. In this case, a candidate in Texas running for Democratic seat against his friend who he's constantly pushing on Truth Social to win. So he intervened. Stephen Colbert got pissed. He put they refused to air it, CBS, so he put it online on YouTube, and it is gone out of control, like viral. And it ended up biting everyone in the ass and making it press worthy as fuck for Tallarico. So with that said, good timing, because I want to at least have 35 minutes to go through the shit. So let's watch. I have a couple of shorts for you to see on it. This is what's going on here. For anybody in Texas who is registered to vote and hasn't yet, please go out, vote early, do what you need to do, because this is fucking insane.
For the lawyers to release this without even talking to me is really surprising. I don't even know what to do with this crap.
Late-night host Stephen Colbert criticized CBS over what he called a, quote, crap corporate statement regarding an interview with Texas State Rep James Tallarico. CBS released a statement that said it did not bar Colbert from airing the interview with Tallarico, but rather provided legal advice that doing so could trigger the Federal Communication Commission's equal time rule. The equal time rule requires broadcasters offer equal airtime to qualified candidates and their opponents. Colbert pointed out that the FCC rule has never been applied to talk shows. He crumpled up the statement and put it into a doggy bag. Ignoring CBS's legal advice, Colbert instead posted Tallarico's interview to YouTube, where it has garnered millions of views. Tallarico is going up against Representative Jasmine Crockett for the Democratic nomination.
And when I tell you, they are both such sweethearts, they are not running smear campaigns on each other. God, I want them both. We love them. We love them so much. I would be perfectly happy with either of them.
In Texas's Senate race, whoever wins the primary will challenge the Republican nominee.
Stephen Colbert says he was blocked from airing an interview with a Democrat seeking a U.S. Senate seat in Texas. Colbert says CBS's lawyers were worried the interview would violate federal fairness rules. The interview with Representative James Tallarico was posted to the show's YouTube channel.
A stunning statement from Late Show host Stephen Colbert last night over CBS's decision to pull his interview with a Texas Democrat, at least according to him. Colbert blasted his own network for refusing to air his sit-down with Democratic Senate candidate James Tallarico after pressure tied to the Federal Communications Commission. The FCC recently issued new guidance about a regulation which requires stations to give equal airtime to all candidates in any political race. Talk shows have long been exempted from that rule. But
so here's the bullshit about that rule. First of all, you have to give him an opportunity. And also, that candidate has to agree to go on the show. He has historically had both Republicans and Democrats and people who are grass party Green Party, whatever you call it, libertarians, socialist Democrats. Like, he's had fucking everyone on his show. Like, he's not going to have them sit on each other's lap. You can't talk. You can't regulate his format, for Christ's sakes. So how could you possibly enforce such a rule? The FCC's overreach on this is absurd. And this is exactly why people like Conan are doing so fucking good in podcasting now, because the restrictions late night. But this is police state shit, you guys. Like, this is state TV. This is what Russia does. Like, this is what Russia does. This is North Korea, dear leader. Can we have permission to watch this? In Russia, he like poisoned and killed people, Vladimir Putin, because these writers created a show where it was like crank anchors with puppets, and they criticized him. Like, they made a puppet out of him. Just like on the WWE, how they made a Vince McMahon puppet. They did that. And Putin was like, fucking kill him. Like, get rid of this shit. Like, it's so controlled. The news is so controlled. And the thing is, like, when you have media talking points that are already out of control, and everybody, like Sinclair Media, everything's the fucking same. Viacom, everything's the fucking same. Like, you already can't trust it. But for the president to have the ability to put pressure on the FCC to regulate, like, specific political parties is insane. To regulate what news stories we're allowed to see? Goddamn. Are they going to spank us? Like, I feel babysat. What the fuck is going on here? Are we not adults? There's just one more after this.
last month, the Trump-appointed head of the FCC signaled the agency could now go after late-night talk show hosts motivated by what he called partisan purposes.
And for the lawyers to release this without even talking to me is really surprising. I don't even know what to do with this crap. Oh, hold on.
Good for him. Put it in a shit bag. There you go. So that is what happened. We'll let him. I want to see his statement. He reacts to the CBS. Is this the same one?
I said my piece last night.
No, this is a new
jokes.
one. Let's see what he says.
This is what they pay me for. And I was ready to let the whole thing go. Until a few hours ago.
Stephen Colbert is clapping back after CBS released a statement about the decision not to air his interview with Texas Democratic candidate James Tallarico.
Without ever talking to me, the corporation put out this press release, this statement. Now,
Okay, I thought it was going to be a different one. Well, never mind. Never fucking mind. It's the other F word. All right. So I'm just going to take this down altogether because we are not going to need that open today. I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, before we get into the individual stories of all the people on my dirty list, there is an OSINT tool. that I'm going to link below this video, and I will add it to the OSINT spreadsheet. I have not seen it heavily distributed among as many forums or social media platforms as I would like to see it. But whoever created it on the down low, goddamn. And I'm going to show you how crazy big this link is. I'm going to put it in the chat. If I'm probably frozen. Okay, great. Let it go. Well, that's the thing about it. It's got so much shit in it that it'll just freeze your whole system. So that's fun. That's fun for us. Okay, well, let's see. Can we... Okay, StreamYard. Well, this is nice. I like that it's doing this again. Good. Okay, so there is a lot of files on here, so it probably will freeze your shit. So you have to be careful, but this is the database that I'm talking about that somebody put together. It's an Epstein OSINT database .notion.site, and there is, as you can see, this long fucking... Anyway, it's been very helpful for people like me who I need to see someone's picture and I need to hear a weird story about them for me to remember them, where there has to be something notable, like mole, like something, you know, or like she has fucking green hair, or she looks like the tan mom. Like there are people in here where I will remember them simply based on shit their wives wore to a wedding. Like, it's absurd, but somebody put together a database where you can literally go through, and here I'll show you. This is what it looks like. And I absolutely love this thing. And even though I trust these people, whoever made this, and again, I will link it below, I trust them implicitly because thus far, everybody I've looked up, it's been spot on. I do, like, if it's someone I haven't seen yet, I do make sure to fact check everything they put on here, because you never know who's developing these sites or what they want out there, but it gives you enough information to where you can check your data, okay? So basically what this is it is the ultimate OSINT for the people in the files, and it's a database of literally everyone who is listed, and you can sort it by co-conspirators, see how they all have their own tag, and then it'll just show you the co-conspirators, and then real estate, business and finance, intellectual tech, fashion, food, art, his staff, Jeffrey Epstein's staff, royalty and staff of royalty, government intel. So anybody in the government or special intelligence communities, then you can go, there's 6 more where you can go through, and there's physicians, traffickers, socialites, journalists, judicial, survivors and victims. And essentially what this is it's a way to where you can group and see exactly who is in here and what their deal is. Because, like, let's say I'm like, oh, I haven't heard this name before. Who is Anas al-Rashid? And then I click on it. Epstein emailed Anas al-Rashid, the former Kuwaiti information minister and professor, the meeting today with MBS, helpful. This is insane. It lets you know that Epstein met with MBS, and that is a problem. And then it gives you a link to it. And these are all notable things. There are some people that are missing on it, but they're constantly adding to it, okay? By the way, WJC, a lot of people were freaking out thinking that was William Jefferson Clinton. It's not. It's actually a guy named Doug, and he was Bill Clinton's aide, and he was trying to fuck Jelaine. And don't worry, we're going to see plenty of emails between those two. But yeah, he's actually the one who got drunk and banged a big booby chick. Remember that? Yeah, Doug. I will show you Doug. I will show you all these people, okay? So, also, Jelaine had a boyfriend at one time that really didn't like Jeffrey, and he was like, please stop visiting him. So, let me show you. There's so many to go through. I'm going to show you a fun one. Let's start with Georgette, okay? So, let me pop this up. And I am just going to be plowing through these, okay? Because I don't have a lot of time, but there is a lot to say. And I'm just going to go through my favorites, like the ones where it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Okay. So Here's how I found out about Georgette. This is literally how my brain works, and I'm so sorry because it is a mess and you might be offended. But I was looking for something else. I was trying to just find any mentions of Melania's boyfriend. Why? Because there were rumors that Melania had a boyfriend, and Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon and Woody and all them would casually talk about, oh, did he find out about Melania's boyfriend? Because apparently she did have a boyfriend while she was with the president after she found out about Stormy Daniels. And we find that out in the emails, but we'll get to that later. That's other gossip. So while looking for that, I find this email. Of course, they redact the person, but they leave right here, JF. Now, I'm not concerned with who JF is because I get caught up in a moment up here. Hi, Jeffrey. I saw Ghislaine last night. None of these people, by the way, can fucking spell or punctuate or make a goddamn sentence work. And it's crazy to think that these are scholars. So, goddamn. I saw Ghislaine last night at Georgette Mossbacher's house. I told her that her boyfriend was an asshole because he is jealous of you and won't let her visit. Now, again, this person is telling Jeffrey, I saw Ghislaine and I said, your boyfriend's a fucking asshole. Why won't he let you go see Jeff? Okay. And I worked this out through a series of emails. So trust me, that's what's going on here. Okay. Ghislaine's new boyfriend is jealous of Jeffrey and won't let her visit. And I told her I used to have dinner with Helena and her boyfriend as a friend for life. She thought I was right, but she is a wooz for helicopter pilot. I still have no news from blank. I think doing nothing is not doing much. Are you sure? So this fella, this is a guy, by the way, gossiping like a fucking lady. This dude gossips like a motherfucker. Okay. And he's always seeking out advice from Jeffrey, just like Steven, but Jeffrey doesn't berate him like he does Steven. Anyway, the point is, I'm reading all this, and all I can stop and think about is Georgette Mossbacher. Georgette Mossbacher. What a fucking stupid name. What a weird, stupid name. This doesn't sound right. Does she hang out with Countess de Lesseps from The Real Housewives? I don't fucking know, but I want to know who Georgette Mossbacher is. I'm thinking she's going to be some type of like parasocial millionaire who we never really see except once in a while. And she maybe wants to be a cat. So she like pumps some stuff in her face. Maybe she was one of the people in the swingers house in Alabama or Arkansas, wherever it was, when Borat was trying to get those people to touch his spike. Like, I don't know who Georgette is, but I want to know who Georgette is. So I look up Georgette, and would you believe Georgette is here? I'll just show you. Let me tell you who Georgette is. Now, Ghislaine goes to have lunch with Georgette. Turns out they're dear friends. This is Georgette Mossbacher. Georgette is part of the U.S. Advisory Commission on Public Diplomacy. The Honorable Georgette Paulson Mossbacher, on May 17, 2016, was unanimously confirmed by the United States Senate of the United States Advisory Commission on Public Diplomacy. She has a BS from Indiana State. Okay. She has degrees from Bryant College, a School of the Fine Arts. She was the former owner and CEO of La Prairie Cosmetics Worldwide, former CEO of Borges. She's presently the president and CEO of Georgette Mossbacher Enterprises. Now it goes on and on about all the fucking things she did. But long story short, is this bit? Oh yeah, by the way, she's a contributor to Fox News. She has authored 2 best-selling books, The Feminine Force and It Takes Money, Honey. Smart Guide to Total Financial Freedom. Now, here's what's crazy about Georgette Mossbacher, okay? Let me just pull this up for you. Okay. So she is not just an American business executive, an entrepreneur. She's a political activist. She also served as our United States ambassador to Poland from 2018 to 2021. And she is the chairman of the Green Beret Foundation Advisory Board. And she's still to this day a Fox News contributor. This bitch partied Georgette you partied with Ghislaine and Jeffrey Georgette. And you're the ambassador to Poland? And you were on the advisory commission under Trump? Like, it's weird how many people who are homies with Ghislaine get all sorts of treats from Clinton's administration, and people who are homies with Jeffrey get so many treats in Trump's, and it's just so weird to me. But anyway, that's Georgette. Let's go ahead and pull up. Hold on, let me start up at the top, because I'm just going to be starting at the top and working my way down, okay? So, one thing that I found that I thought was really interesting, I'm just going to be opening these and closing them as we go. I think I showed this to you guys already once before, but I want to show it to you again because these lists keep popping up. And I think it's very interesting because we were told, right, that there wasn't a list of co-conspirators at first. And then we were told there was a list, but parts of them had to be redacted. And then we were told that they couldn't be redacted because these people who are redacted are very important people, apparently. And then it turns out that someone already leaked this list. And these two guys, I don't remember who this guy is. He's some rando dude I've never heard of. And then this guy is the SWAT for Donald Trump. And it's very interesting because, no, sorry, this one's the one for Donald Trump. And then this is the guy I've never heard of. It's very interesting because as you go down, right, you realize this is from the first investigation, which makes sense because these are also the exact people who are listed as giving depositions or being subpoenaed in that lawsuit. And every single one of these were subpoenaed and deposed. Every single one of these were either interrogated or interviewed, in addition to Trump and this other weird guy that I really don't know. He's like a Russian dude. But it's kind of crazy because it's like, oh, okay, well, let's go down this list. And then you realize, wow, this is the unclassified list of co-conspirators. And it includes their names. And it includes a file on them. And they're even numbered in the exact number here. And see, by the way, this guy's a registered sex offender. A bunch of these people are. And you're going to find out Richard Kahn, this guy who's constantly emailing him, look at fucking Ghislaine with her. Other things you said. Anyway, all these people you find out once you match them up with other documents end up being people that are just constantly around diplomats, and they're all going to luncheons with each other. It's so fucking weird, man. Okay, so I just want to show you that real quick, that there are at least 4 lists with various redactions on them, and I found that strange. Okay, so this is another thing I saw. So, you know how people are like, oh, why do I know, right? Georgette, why were you with Ghislaine? Okay, so this is kind of crazy. This is from 2007, right? So before he had been sentenced, but I believe it was before he had been sentenced, or maybe it was right after he'd been sentenced, and before it had been anywhere really beyond the Palm Beach Post and a couple of like low profile magazines, there was a place in Palm Beach called the Awareness Center, Jewish Coalition Against Sexual Abuse and Assault. And they would take any, you know how there's like these alerts where people will send out postcards now of like, there's a pedophile in your area, and they put the registered sex offender list. Everyone gets their own postcard now. Well, she would put out these newsletters, the lady who ran this, and it was all the people in the area who are sex offenders to give to the kids, you know, who are taking all these classes for Jewish stuff. And they're like, here, look out for this dirty pervert. Here's his entire fucking life story. And it's 100 fucking pages. They literally went in his ass harder than Julie K. Brown. They listed all his residents. They put shit from the court in it. This person who created the awarenesscenter.org is Bay. I did find a lot of pages on the Wayback Machine, and we will go over them one day. But again, 2007, they did not lie when they yelled at Pamela Bondi when she was like, the fucking Dow. When they were like, bitch, This shit went back more administrations than yours. So cut the shit. This goes back to Bush. This goes back to Clinton. It's like, yeah. See? They still had fucking Excite and they still had fucking Alta Vista. People were using Prodigy. Like it. Netscape Navigator is in the Epstein files, you guys. Clippy is in the Epstein files. That's crazy to think about. Anyway, there is a list. Here's what I'm going to show you next. Again, these are just random nuggets I found that I was like, damn, these are crazy. This is one that I was looking up the trip to Africa because I'm going to get up in Bill Clinton's ass too. I'm still hurt. I had a crush on him as a kid. I'm still mad about all of this. I think he did skeevy shit and I'm looking for it and I will find it. And I did read a lot about how, like Ghislaine would say, like, oh, the Clintons, they donated to the foundation. But other than that, it was most of the pictures that you see, their trips with Bill to Africa and other people were there. CNN was there. All these people with Dun Rather was there. And I was like, oh. And it's weird because then Hillary did an interview where she said the exact same shit the other night. So I was like, well, what the, let's see if this trip to Africa is in the files. And it is. In fact, I think that this led me down one of the craziest wormholes, okay, or rabbit holes, whatever you want to call it, because this led me into this weird obsession with Jeffrey Epstein's to-do list for the day. So he would get these alerts from one of 4 of his evil handler bitches or one of his overeager gays, and they would, or JoJo, who is... JoJo is a trip. We're going to have to talk about JoJo. I don't know if JoJo knows what is going on ever. She seems like just a sweet little maid with a family who doesn't seem to know what's going on. She's older. I don't know if she speaks English. I don't know what her deal is, but I don't know. She's just very like... She's got some drama going on. A lot of family members like to show up at Jeffrey's house screaming on the sidewalk and scaring away the masseuses and the ones who and the young girls that are about to be trafficked. Like, yeah. And then they send each other emails about it. Like, no, I saw a woman screaming on the sidewalk looking for JoJo. And it's like, JoJo, what is going on with you? So anyways, there's a lot of different stuff in here to look at, but the Africa trip, I mean, it's boom, cut and dry. But this led me onto his itinerary. He gets these people, they send him these itineraries, and everyone gets a copy. Everyone is CC'd. By the way, Doug Band, that was Clinton's aide. He was attached to him like Lincoln's page boy. Let me just say that much. And Doug likes to get wasted. Doug will go home with a fatty and chew his arm off in the morning and then cry about it to Ghislaine. He will also neg the fuck out of Ghislaine. And these two write some of the nastiest emails. We're going to have to do a Doug Band and Jilly whole episode because goddamn, it is awkward. It is so uncomfortable. It is like, did you ever have a point when you were watching Autism on the Spectrum or Love on the Spectrum? That's what it was called. And you're like, God, I hope that these people find love. And I hope that this doesn't go wrong. I hope this wasn't just set up to exploit them. I hope it's not just like a bad show. And then it ended up being like the best show and so sweet. It just tears your eyes. Imagine if it did go wrong. Imagine like Rock of Love on the Spectrum. Like, that's the best way I can explain Doug and Gilly. Like, what the fuck? These two. They will be with people and just saying the nastiest shit to each other. I don't know. Anyway, this is who went on I'm going to call it the booze cruise to Africa. Because I don't know what the point was. But anyway, Doug asked me to email Ghislaine. Doug said to email you the following information for planning purposes as we approach our departure date for Africa. Dan Rather with CBS has requested that he, along with 3 crew, fly aboard the plane with President Clinton for the Cape Town to Johannesburg, Africa leg of, and then they go in. And the itinerary that he receives is so much. Oh yeah, they share a BlackBerry. He was bragging. He was also constantly trying to suck up to Jillian. And by the way, they had like 4 BlackBerries because and I don't even, they gave Obama shit for wanting to use his. I think they made him get rid of it. And I'm pretty sure that they did that specifically because of Doug and Bill, because they'd lose their fucking phones. It's these dudes and their phones. Okay. On his 10 p.m. with some official from Norway and a Thorg. That's the guy who got fired. A follow-up email asking for the photo of said official with the girl. My bet blackmail. Yeah, totally. So here, like, as you go down, you'll notice a couple of things. Like, you go down, you go, David Spade, no Slade. Jim Kennedy, nope, not Jamie Kennedy, different guy. But then you go down, to be determined. Okay. Right about, where is it? Oh, Kevin Spacey. So you know the pictures with Kevin Spacey, and where is he? The dude from the Jackie Chan movies, Chris Tucker. They ended up both going on this. And it makes sense now because it's like, oh, that's where those weird pictures where it's like Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker. It's like, how did these fucking people meet? And then you realize, oh my God, it was a whole planned thing. This makes sense. So that was pretty weird. Okay, but don't worry. There's way crazier shit that's so much weirder. Let me show you this. Okay, Landon fucking Thomas Jr. Landon, can we talk about Landon? Let's talk about Landon for a second, because Landon be desperate. Okay, let me explain who Landon Thomas is. So, Landon Thomas, I actually wrote something about him. I will read exactly what I wrote. Landon and Jeffrey are the type of friends who have walkie-talkies and they send messages across the window to each other with like either a string and they slide a note, or they'll do the cups thing. They will literally do the old, hey, I can't sleep. Can you sleep? What you thinking about? They're like girls at a sleepover. And if I didn't know any better, I would say those two were fucking, okay? Because the tee-hee-hee-hee-hee, she said she likes me. What should I do? Hey, dude, what's up? I miss you. What are you doing right now? Where are you at? What are you thinking about? Those are the emails they send to each other, and they never respond with anything like gay or like calling themselves names, calling each other names. It's always like, oh, I'm just thinking about Paris and how much I'm in. It's just like, me too. Do you want to like go to lunch? Like, it's an episode of Sex and the City with these two fucking broads. Jeffy and Landon Thomas. And so I start going back in their history, right? And I'm like, whoa, this is like an old friend. Like, this is like one of his friends from the beginning. And he seems to be like more playful and nicer with Landon than Jelaine. And that's just kind of weird. It's like, who's Landon? Like, did they work together? What's their deal? So that's when I look it up. And let me just pull up who Landon Thomas Jr. is for you real quick. Because, boy, was I surprised. And they're so sweet to each other. It's like, what are you going to get me for Christmas? Like, it's fucking wild. I did not expect a bromance, but that's what I got. And I'm waiting to see if I reach any point where there's a fallout. Okay, Landon Thomas Jr. covered international finance, emerging markets, and the asset management industry for the New York Times, where he was a reporter from 2002 to 2019, which, by the way, is the exact amount of time that the day, like the month, the week he met Jeffrey to right before Jeffrey killed himself. Literally the entire span of their friendship. So that's the New York Times connection. That's what they meant by he had the New York Times in his pocket. I was always like, I mean, yeah, he had Michael Wolff, but that's not really the Times. And yeah, he tried to talk to, reporters, and he had a couple of friends, but they weren't like, it's not like having, he didn't have fucking Maggie, what's her fuck? Not like Maggie and Trump's relationship. Like, it's just very strange. Like, I never understood what they meant. And then it's like, oh, his fucking bestie in the financial man. And then a lot of the emails make sense because what are they? Them fucking bugging each other about financial advice. Like, anyways, let's go to lunch and we can talk about like how the Saudis are gonna get a bailout and take all this money from us, and we're gonna buy into Blackwater. Like, it's just insane. These people casually talk about destroying villages the way I talk about, like, should I get a pita for lunch? It's insane. I can't. That's probably one of the things I have a hard time coping with on this. Okay. Ghislaine fucking hates Carol. And I'm going to try to squeeze in some more, but I think this is going to be the end because I can't imagine us ending on anything better than this. Because it's just a power hour. Don't worry, we're going to go really far in depth. There's a lot of people that we need to look at, but my God, man. Ghislaine, what is your fucking problem? To blank from GMAX. Vilest. Did you hear what Carol did? She has a hidden camera in my bedroom. Just as she saw that a truly huge, hideous, ugly, repellent spot was growing, people asked whether or not surgery could remove the Siamese twin that was clearly attached to my face. She invited me to dinner. By some chance, so she says, your cousin was seated at the next door table. Not possible that such a coincidence could be for real. I know that she did that so that he would look at me and recoil in horror. I hate Carol. Bitch, bitch, bitch. GX. P.S. What say you? And then this person writes, Trollop. Are you coming to dinner next Thursday, the 27th? Can't tell you who's coming for security reasons. What? Like, what the fuck did I just... I'm going to leave it up. Because what is... Carol did what? She put a hidden camera in your bedroom? You had a spot growing? You had a Siamese twin attached to your face? And she saw it, so she invited you to dinner? What? Whose cousin? So she put a camera in your room so that she could see a pimple you had? And then she said, a pimple. My time to slide in and invite her to lunch with someone's cousin. You hate Carol? Bitch, bitch, bitch? And also, who the fuck says what say you? Who says that? Ghislaine's fucking crazy. She's really fucking crazy. I'll show you one that, okay, I'll show you two more. First of all, let's get this one out of the way. Sultan bin Salayim, you know, the guy with the torture video, one of the worst. He wanted to go ahead and let Jeffrey know that Trump calls Stormy Daniels horseface, and then sent a link to Jordan Fabian's article. So a sultan, a royal family member, is it Qatar? I think he's from Qatar, right? Or no. I think he's Israel, right? I can't fucking remember. He's either Qatar, Israel, or Saudi. I can't fucking remember. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter. This fucking asshole who sent a torture video, he's one of the worst. Okay, he's in the top 5 worst piece of shit with Leon Black. Is joking about Stormy Daniels being a horse face. How dare he? So that's pretty fucking weird. Okay, here's another crazy one. Fucking Carol, dude. I can't believe Carol did that. And also, haha, Carol did that. Okay, now this is one that also I don't know what the fuck to make of this. But Steven is the guy that Jeffrey is always just yelling at, and he's just literally just cussing at him, calling him names. Hello, Just Crazy Jen. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yeah, it's Carol fucking Baskins. That's who it is. Ooh, I have to hurry because I only have 5 minutes. Okay, look. I don't know what's going on here, but he always yells at Steven. He's mean to Steven. This is his Toby from The Office, okay? Here we go. From Steven to Jeff. Now, they had a real estate thing fall through, and Jeff freaked out on Steven, called him a lot of mean names. Yes, United Arab Emirates. That's right. And Steven sends him this. I've spoken to you many times regarding the issue I'm having with that girl from Scottsdale Punchline. The shitty comedy club from Bar Rescue. What? She is a rotten bitch that consistently makes shit up. Think she's a total psychopath. Great at making up stories that are convincing. I have 4 names right off the bat. I want to know who this is. But Steve Hansen, the guy that Jeffrey used to verbally abuse, pitifully, mind you, through email for no reason whatsoever, just screaming at him love advice and then calling him names. Steven stays his friend apparently for a couple of years and then lets him know that this bitch from Scottsdale Punchline is making shit up. I mentioned before what started out 10 years ago as a business deal, flipped a house or 2, then bought some stupid ring she was going to flip yet never did. Then to horses, which actually isn't that bad on increased value, but my game doesn't stop, which I wish it could stop. But the game doesn't stop, but I wish it could stop. Who the fuck is this wig? It doesn't matter. My issue is that years ago I made the decision to keep the BS business going rather than take the chance that she attacks the family, makes shit up about us, and I'm left defending myself against some psycho out of her mind bitch. I try to appease the situation by taking her call. So I think what's going on here is he's using something as money laundering, and he's scared she's going to find out, so he has to keep a fake business going, which is horses, which is how the cartel actually money launders, and the mafia and a lot of gangs and biker gangs, horse farms. So that's very interesting. Punchline is, I've been concerned for a while, distraught, thinking that this could get out of control, affect my family, affect my kids, how they see me as a dad. We've spoken many times how I love my family, especially the girls, blah, blah, blah. So I need your help on trying. So after he sends this, he's like, I'm having a panic. My family doesn't love me. Jeffrey just fucking verbally, irately fucking undresses him, like just talks mad shit. He's like, you fucking idiot. I told you not. And it's like, wow. And that's very uncomfortable. So I'm not going to read that, but that pretty much wraps it up. I did want to end on, that one's super cringe. Oh yeah, here's one that I just think everyone should just see. So there's a guy named Al Seckel. Okay, he's a big deal in the tech industry. He's a huge piece of shit. In case you didn't know, he hacked a bunch of shit to make Epstein look good back in the day, which is why a lot of the stories that were public got buried, unless you saw them on the physical news and watched them with your own eyes. So here's what he did for Jeffrey in 2010 after his probation was up. Added a whole new section on your wiki entry, pushing the bad stuff down the page on wiki, even though we have reworded most of it, so it isn't that bad. Working on the photo switch. That is Al Seckel actively helping a pedophile. He is the one who said, we're going to hack Wikipedia for you. And when people go, how did more people not speak out? That's the thing, is like when Survivor spoke up, Al Seckel and these motherfuckers would not just like try to silence them in real life. Like people didn't just do that, but also online. Like they would get shit taken down. They would pay a literal host of a website more than what the website costs to maintain, and certainly more than whatever fee it was to hold it up, to have them take it down. It wasn't just like search engine optimization. It was like illegal shit. Like I know a guy who knows a guy. So yeah, that's Al Steckel is a dick bean and he can chupa mi vergas and fucking suck it to him. So with that said, that's Power Hour. It's up. We did it. It's 1 hour. I have to go. I have a lot of shit to do. Oh no, Lori, you came in late. I love you so much. You know what? You're early. I'm late to leave. But you guys are the best. Mahjong to you, Tiff. That's Power Hour. We will do this again. I have so many more to tell you about. Erica and the Sultan is a big one. Erica and the Sultan is fucking crazy. There are so, oh my God, the whole Caroline Lang, the French Ministry of Culture lady who went on French TV and was like, I didn't know I was hanging out with the pedophile. I met him through Woody Allen. It's like, what the fuck? Girl, you should have known better anyway. God bless you all. Have a good day. I know he wrestled last night. He's so good. He's so good at wrestling. And I wrestle every day with keeping myself off of this channel so that I can work, because sometimes I'm like, I just want to go on there and talk to them about how crazy the Epstein files are and warn them against being a part of dark casino culture. So you guys are the best. I love you to death. And in case you forgot, Shaq can love you.